Om Shanti. Today Baba says that step away from limited supports and make the one Father your support, and you will be able to go across, because in this journey of going across there will be lots of obstacles and challenges, and we will not be able to cross those challenges, overcome those challenges through physical supports. So these days people are talking about, people earlier talked about the intelligence quotient, then they talked about the emotional quotient, and now they talk about the adversity quotient. So, even your internal supports, relying on your intelligence or your emotional capability, is also not going to take you across. They are also limited supports. So, and of course, physical supports like money and relationships, we have seen them fail badly in the last 1.5 years. So we understand that those supports are, of course, very vulnerable and very fragile. So you cannot depend on them. And then you can't even depend on the strength of your own body. You cannot depend on your intelligence, your logical thinking. You cannot depend on your emotional capability to convince people or take support from them. All you can depend on is Baba. And what Baba is giving you, the power of knowledge, the power of yoga, the power of this relationship with Baba, the power of punya karma that you get by following Shrimat and doing the seva that Baba says. So Baba says this is the support that will help you in the end. And Baba says there will be many papers which you will have to cross before you go across. And in those papers, it is only Baba and what Baba is giving you, and what you can take only through the power of your relationship with Baba. So when you realize this is the one, he is the one, then you start listening to him. And then you can hear what he is saying. And when you can hear clearly what he is saying, and you are surrendered in your buddhi to do as he says, you will be in a position where you have accumulated enough to give you the strength in those adversities. So adversities of physical kinds, emotional kinds, financial kinds, and adversities where the spiritual pain or the mind and the buddhi and the sanskars are not able to come together, and the soul is not able to be at rest. So all those adversities will be crossed by having this one strength and one support, and then taking all your strength from Baba. So Baba is the source of strength and the source of support. And when you have unconditional faith in Baba and only in Baba, and you're willing to offer everything to Baba, your entire time, everything, your whole buddhi, then you will be able to take it from Baba, because Baba is the ocean. And when it comes to Baba, the challenge is not about getting less. The challenge is about being capable of taking everything he is giving. Yes, and that's the challenge with Baba. So, Baba is the ocean. Baba is giving us so much that a tamo pradhan soul or a soul who is weak is not capable of grasping all that Baba is giving. And the more and more we we surrender to Baba, the more and more we become, fully devoted to one. We just belong to one. That's the state where that one will be able to give you everything. So Baba says, just do that. Let go of all the limited, supports and stop investing in them more than necessary. So just keep them sustainable enough. So you have to continue your relationship with nature and with your body and everyone and everything around you. But don't invest to get a return. Just invest to keep it going. And the only return you will get is from Baba. So invest in Baba for return. The other things are not going to give you any return. So just for the sake of keeping up the relationship, invest as much as you need so that the relationship keeps going. But you take everything from Baba, and so you have to invest in Baba fully. So this is something. And then today Baba talks about, so the question today is very interesting. Baba asks us, by following which Srimat can you children make your stage constant and stable? So everybody wants a constant and stable stage. And whenever somebody comes for meditation, what they want is, don't want situations and behaviors to be capable enough to upset them. So everybody wants a constant and stable stage. But wanting it is not enough. You have to follow the procedure. So Baba says, which Shrimat do you have to follow if you want to create a constant and stable stage? So let's hear the Shrimat that will enable you to do that. Baba says, the Father's Shrimat to make your stage constant and stable is, children, wake up early in the morning every day and remember the Father with a lot of love. Consider yourself to be a soul and listen to whatever Baba tells you. So first thing is morning yoga. You wake up early in the morning and remember Baba with a lot of love. And the second thing is listen to the Murli. Consider yourself to be a soul and listen to whatever Baba is telling you. Now Baba says this is the Shrimat we need to follow. Let's understand why Baba is saying this. Because early in the morning, your mind is receptive. Yes, you are in touch with your subconscious mind. And when you fill that mind with Baba's love, Baba's knowledge, Baba's purity, Baba's power, then you are in a powerful stage so that other situations that come during the day will not be able to disturb you. Okay, so Baba says, create the foundation. Now you see that in Hinduism we say Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar. And we say Brahma is for Sthapana, creation. Vishnu stands for Palna, sustenance. and Shankar stands for Vinash, destruction. Now Baba says the morning hours are called Brahma Muhurat, which means the time for creation. Okay? So you want to sustain a stable stage, so you need to create it first. So the time for creation is not the day. The time for creation is early morning, 4 to 5. And if you miss that time, you cannot create your spiritual stage during the day. Yes? So Baba says, make effort to create that stage. Lovingly remember Baba. And you know, when you are in love, the transfer of energy becomes easy. So love is like the conduit through which the energy exchange takes place. So when you sit with Baba's love in your heart, then Baba's knowledge, Baba's power, Baba's purity is able to color you. And without love, you cannot find that connection where the transfer of energy will take place. So Baba says, sit with a lot of love in your heart for Baba and remember Baba. And then when you remember Baba, so when you remember any person, what do you remember? You remember how they walk, how they talk, what they say, what they do, how they would think in this situation, everything. And you know Baba enough through his murlis to be able to experience his presence, his company, his thought, his guidance, everything when you sit with this light of love ignited in your heart. And then Baba says, when you listen to the murli, pay attention that you sit in the consciousness that you are a soul. So the main thing when you listen to the murli is, don't consider yourself to be a body and listen to it. Because when you're body conscious, the murli gives you a lot of conflict. Yes, when you're body conscious and you hear about destruction, it makes you fearful. But when you know you are a soul and Baba says the old world is going to be destroyed, then you are happy that you, the soul, are going to the new world. So Baba says, when you listen to the murli, consider yourself to be a soul and listen to what Baba says. And once you fill yourself with spiritual strength in this way, then even if situations come during the day, they are not able to set off that waste thinking in you. Okay, situations will come, behaviors will come, but you will be very stable. So Baba says today that if you don't have remembrance, you will have useless and wasteful thoughts. This is why Baba's advice is, children, wake up early every morning and promise yourself that while walking, moving around, preparing and eating food, you will remember one Baba alone. Now also use the morning meditation to create your whole day. So create a vision of how you want to be all day in the morning. Do you do that? How many of you do that? Create a plan for the day. Yes? You see that whatever you are doing during the day, you're doing it in a very peaceful, loveful manner, in remembrance of Baba. And more or less, you know what your day is going to be like. Yes? If somebody talks to you rudely every day, you don't visualize them talking sweetly to you. You visualize yourself feeling sweet in the face of that rude talk. Okay, so let us understand that creation of your stage is important. So, in the world, when people talk about the law of attraction, what they do is they try to create the stage of the world. So they are visualizing that other people are very nice to me, and prosperity is one of my, realities, and everything around me is going perfectly. But Baba says, you don't do that. You envision yourself seeing everything, hearing everything, experiencing everything, doing everything in a very loveful, peaceful stage. So even if somebody is not saying the right words, you are listening to it in a peaceful stage. So that's what you create. When you're doing something, you're filling it with Baba's energy. And some days back in the evening, Manthan, I was discussing this. So, Baba says that we souls are capable of elevated actions. Yes? So, people in the world are capable of vikarma, negative actions, and ordinary actions. And we souls are capable of elevated actions. Today we will understand the difference between these two. So you see, a negative action is when you react. Okay? When the situation has overpowered you and you have reacted, that's a negative action. An ordinary action is when you are not reacting, but you are just responding to whatever is happening around you. Yes? But you are not creating your action, you are responding. Okay? So you did something, I am not irritated by it, but I am responding to it. You are talking to me bitterly, I am not affected by it, and I am talking to you in an ordinary way. Yes, that's an ordinary action. And some people in the world also are capable of ordinary action. So not getting affected, but behaving like yourself, which is, even if somebody is talking bitterly, you talk ordinarily. Yes, somebody says, every time, you come up with a demand. And then you say, I'm in an office and you are in an obligatory position to fulfill my demand. So you have to do it. And you are not irritated, you're just responding. Right? But then, what is elevated action? When you are able to create a stage, when you are able to introduce a powerful element in that communication. So, what would be an elevated action in the situation we just discussed? So, somebody tells you come up with a demand every day, and then you say, I come up with a demand to you because you are capable of giving, and you are a great soul. And then you mean it. And when you come from that place, that soul realizes that they are in a position where they can act virtuously and powerfully and benefit somebody. So Baba says that elevated action means giving something to that soul, some virtue, some power through your words, through your act. So whenever you are in a situation, don't just try to be normal in that situation. Don't just try to be not affected, but try to introduce an element of elevated consciousness. Introduce love, introduce power, introduce knowledgeful behavior in that situation. So that is an elevated action. So for example, when you're cooking, cooking can be done ordinarily, and cooking can be done by infusing every grain of the food that you're cooking with Baba's love and Baba's power and Baba's purity. So this is a very proactive action. So Baba says, when you are preparing your day mentally early in the morning, then you make a whole plan how you're going to fill every action that you do with Baba's beauty, Baba's truth, Baba's strength, Baba's love, and make every action divine. So, you have to go to a hospital maybe to see somebody. You could just see in the morning that as you prepare to go to the hospital, you're seeing every single soul in the hospital getting treated, getting healed, and feeling nourished, and getting this thought that I am more powerful than my body. I am the healer, and I have capacity to heal my body. And hold that thought while you go meet that one person, and also radiate this whole energy to every person who is struggling with physical issues or any other issue in the whole world. So Baba says, when you prepare for your day early in the morning, create a blueprint for your whole day in the morning. And then Baba says, when you have made such a concrete plan, when already you have set your energy field, you have indicated to the universe how you want it to be, then the universe will not dictate how you will be. So then situations and behaviors will not create wasteful thinking into you, because you have already done proactive action, so you're not capable of reactive action anymore. So this is something. And then Baba today says that don't just create, but also sustain. So it's not like early morning meditation, we did very well, we created a plan, everything is set, and then go to hell. Yes. Now it's an ordinary day and ordinary challenges and ordinary everything. So it's not like you have to live double, triple lives, one spiritual life, one professional life, one ordinary life. No. Baba says, as you get up from your seat from meditation, carry that whole consciousness with you during the day. And as you go through the day, keep doing as you had planned. So sustain your plan during the day. And then before you go to sleep, check, evaluate how much of what you had planned went as you had planned, and what is it that went not as planned. And then before you sleep, you take the resolve, you take the swaman which you want to practice the next day, so that you don't create the same mistakes that you did today. And do you know that planning for the next morning has to be done before you sleep in the night? You don't wake up and set your plan. Before you sleep, you shed a light on the day you had gone by, and then you discern where is it that you need to correct yourself. What are the elements you need to introduce in your spiritual journey so that you don't make the same mistakes? And then the next morning, you fill yourself with those elements. before you set off for the day. And this is the path to self-progress. So this is what Baba tells today. And then Baba says, charity begins at home. Charity begins at home means, Baba says, first try to benefit your family. So your spouse, your children, your parents, try to give them the knowledge. And Baba gives a very good Shrimad today. Let's read that first. Baba says, if the husband is on the path of knowledge and the wife is on the path of ignorance, it is like being a swan and a stork. So Hans and Bagula, you will become very different from each other. This is why the wife has to be given knowledge first. Yes, instead of giving knowledge someone else first give it to your wife if you are the brother, okay? Now Baba says, a wife believes her husband to be her husband and her guru. So in Hinduism, you say that the husband is the guru. So the wife has to obey her guru's directions. So you can use this thing that the world says, that husband is the guru, to demand that the wife has to listen to you. Now let's listen to what Baba says. Baba says, this applies here in this world. There is no question of obeying or not obeying directions. So it's not like fundamentally the husband is the guru or something. Yes, Baba says in Satyug, it's not like the wife has to obey the husband. But Baba says, if there is this belief in the old world, you can take advantage of this belief. Yes, take advantage of this belief. So Baba says, you should be very yukti yukt. You should be very smart. Okay? So don't go into wrong and right. If you can use a practice in Kali Yuga to bring a soul on the spiritual path, use it. Yes, Baba says, it's not like that in Satyug there is a question of obeying or not obeying directions, because everyone interacts with love. There is nothing like that there. But Baba says here you can use this yukti to demand it from the wife, that you have to listen to me because I am telling you that this path is a good path. And you see, you can use your position, like if you are a teacher, yes, then the children have to listen to you. The students have to listen to you. So don't go by, why am I introducing knowledge in an academic curriculum? Somewhere while you're teaching, just give some gyan also. And Baba says, if you are a parent, you have authority over the children and you have the authority to take them where you want to take them. So you can bring them to Baba's house, make them sit. And they don't like being in many places, but you anyways have authority, so you take them, na? So here also you can bring them. So Baba says you use these authorities that the world has given you. There are dynamics which have been set by the world. You can use them. And Baba says, and if you are an officer and you organize an event, then each one of your employees will attend it. So you can make it mandatory. You don't have to say it's your choice whether you attend it or not. Just like you can enforce them to attend a professional program, you can enforce them to attend a spiritual program. And that's okay. Baba says it's for their benefit. So if you can take a step, don't go into morality. Yes, take that step. So this is a very big learning Baba gives us today. This is yukti. So when it comes to spirituality, shun morality, because spiritual strength is very desirable. So even if morality comes in your way, don't let it come into your way. Don't go into what the world says is right or wrong. Yes? Go into what Baba says is good karma and do it anyway. So, even if you find time in office to do some seva or remember Baba, don't say, I will not use office time to do this. No. If the time permits you, do it. It's a good yukti. Yes. So Baba says, when a wife is on the path of knowledge and the husband isn't, what can she do? She has to buzz knowledge. So a wife is capable of, saying one thing 100 times. So you are allowed to do that. You keep doing that. And Baba says, children also have to buzz knowledge. So Baba says, you can buzz this knowledge to children, to your husband, and keep saying until they have to listen to it. And I will tell you, these days the dynamic between husband and wife has also changed a lot. So I remember there are two incidents, and there is this one sister, and she told me that, Didi, every time I told my husband, come to the center with me, he would say, oh, you go, I'm not interested, not this time, another time. He would keep doing this. And then one day I said, you see, you decide whether you want to come with me or not. Otherwise, from tomorrow on, I will also refuse to go with you where you want me to go with you. And then he just got up from the seat and he thought, I don't know what has come to her. So let me go. That's the safe thing to do. So he just came along with her. And from that day onwards, he started listening to knowledge. And then there was this one sister. She said that, I told my husband, come, we will go to Baba's center and have bhog. Then he said, no, I won't come for bhog. So she said, okay. So even on the street, if there is a bhandara, you can go and sit there like a beggar and eat. But you will not come to the center and eat Baba's bhog. God has come from Paramdham and you're refusing his bhog. Is it about bhog or is it about me asking you to come? So then he just got up from his seat and then he came. So Baba says, you can use any form of, coercion you want. But if you are capable of doing that, do that. And Baba says, charity begins at home. And if you are the master of the home, then it is your duty to introduce everyone to the spiritual journey. And then Baba today says that you have to benefit your equals. And by equals, Baba means, so if you are a woman, you must think about the upliftment of women. If you belong to a certain caste, a certain community, think about how you serve your community. Think about how you serve the likes of you. So, when there are people like you and you understand that when you were in such a situation, so in your context, you benefited by applying Gyan in a certain way. So you can share how you applied Gyan and benefit them also. And then Baba today says something very, very interesting, and Baba says, the father says, I remember the children who do service very well because they are my helpers. I love those who benefit many others. You only love the one father from whom you receive the inheritance. So Baba says, you have two choices. You can either choose to only love Baba, or you can choose to become those who benefit everybody and those who Baba loves very much. And when you remember Baba with love, you feel good. But think about it, how it would feel when Baba loves you. And Baba says, if you want to be the recipient of Baba's love, then become the one who serves on behalf of Baba. And when you help Baba in this task of world transformation, when you use your body, mind, and wealth for the spiritual seva, then Baba loves you. And there is a small story about this, and this story is a bhakti story, and many of you might have heard this story, but I will anyways say it. So once Narad ji saw a diary with Shri Vishnu, and he asked Vishnu ji, what is this diary about? And it was a big diary. And Vishnu ji said, this is the diary in which the names of all my good devotees, those who remember me a lot, are written. And then Naradji flipped through the diary and he saw that his name was on the top because he just kept chanting Narayan, Narayan all day. So his name was on the top. And then he was very jealous of Sri Hanuman. So he tried to locate where Hanuman's name is. And he saw that his name is not in that diary. So he just left that diary and ran to Hanumanji. And he said, you know what? All day Shri Ram, Shri Ram. And you know what? You're not even in that diary. So God doesn't even consider you one of his good devotees. So Hanumanji said, it is okay. I don't mind. And he continued his tapasya. And then Shri Naradji was very happy for some time. And then another day he kept, because he usually kept peeking and prying, so another day he located another diary, a very small diary. And when he saw that diary, he again asked, Bhagavan, what is this diary about? And then Vishnuji said, in this diary, the names of those are mentioned who I remember a lot. Because they are my helpers. They serve on behalf of me. And then Naradji opened that diary and Hanumanji's name was at the top. So then he realized that when you remember Baba, you are special. But then when you serve on the Srimad of Baba, you are that fortunate soul who Baba remembers. And then you don't have to sit in remembrance to feel Baba's blessings. You feel Baba is blessing you every second of the day. Okay? So you want to become that one, serve on behalf of Baba. Participate in the seva. So Baba's seva requires physical strength, expertise, money. Baba's seva requires commitment of mental strength. Baba's seva requires concentrated remembrance of Baba. Baba says, do all of that. And then you will be the one who Baba remembers. Om Shanti.